extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get
He
back
missed
for
the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Well, James Taylor may have only gone there in his mind, but we are there now in the virtual iRacing world. To be more precise, we are looking down at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which tonight plays host to the Bank of America 200, round 5 of 10 in the We Stand United Cup Series chase. And if there's there we go. And if there is anything hitting from behind, that is going to be covered on screen thanks to the action. Let's start this over there. Actually, let's pick up from somewhere in the middle. Hello, everyone. It's Soup here, and I'm going to pick right up if I can find my spot. If there is any hitting from behind, that and all the other Gen 6 action can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. This quarter-hour streaming award-worthy pre-race show will count down to the green flag for the first of 33 laps of stock car oval racing. So bring cyberspace into your place, dish up a plate, hey, get this, of fried green tomatoes covered with pimento cheese. Pop open a bottle of Cheerwine soda. Pull the lever on your lazy boy and get set for the 200 miles of simulated NASCAR excitement that will be streaming your way. Hey, from the Tar Heel State, hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm Bill Soupzon. As usual, he's him, my partner Sean Crackers Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders and steering me to the right part of the script is our director, the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joe Peak. And at his disposal will be the visionary camera locations provided by the renowned Dougie Beard. Crackers, as the iRacing platform continues to add new content, some of the old favorite venues can get overlooked. We dust off a free content track tonight when the WSU visits Charlotte.
Yes, sir, we do. This classic 1.5 mile facility. Some call it one of the cookie cutter tracks. I like to call it Charlotte Motor Speedway right here in Concord, North Carolina. 24 degrees of very, very fast racing in these turns, all four of them. You got a little bit of a banking there along the front stretch. That part at the bottom you see there, that coming out of 4 and across the front stretch of the track, really, really tricky. You'll see some passing, side-by-side racing there. It's going to be a lot of fun this evening. I could talk about it all night, though. What you really want to see is the GSRC Gen 6 get around the track. Let's take a look at it now.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Brian Yazek. This is the GSRC Chevrolet SS and this is Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fun little 1.5 mile oval, legendary, and does not need an introduction if you're a fan of NASCAR. So for your hot lap, swinging it real wide through the dogleg, going back down here into turn 1, off the gas a little bit, rolling back into the throttle. If you go back into it too hard, that sign right there on the wall is going to be waiting for you and knock the whole right front right off of the car. Turns 3 and 4, your braking marker. Some can drive it a little deeper. I prefer to let off right about where the dotted lines end. It really seems to let the car get a good set and a good bite into the corner. So, Charlotte, as the run progresses, you might see guys in 1 and 2 only venture way up here into this second and third groove. If it's the daytime, you'll see this. Nighttime, maybe not so much. But you get a great hole shot down the back stretch and can really set yourself up for a good pass going here into turn 3. Turn 3 doesn't quite have the same level of banking or the same grip level, and the high groove just, no matter how hard you try, never comes in. So swinging it down here through the quad oval, completing your line, and that will also complete our track guide around Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
And there's a recorded lap around one of my favorite ovals here at Charlotte. Now, the last time the GSRC covered the series was the third chase race from New Hampshire, where 14 drivers took the green flag and Joshua Howland Wolf taking the checkered. Now remember, the goal of any chaser is to be in the top 4 spots at the end of the chase. That way he's eligible for the winner-take-all finale at Homestead. So here's the way the chase points looked after the New Hampshire event. Trevor Varun-Borowski, Joshua Wolf, Travis Henderson, and Cordell Colon held those prize top 4 spots. Never Say Die Dawson Brock was 2 points out of the top 4, and Nick Parrott was the big mover up 2 spots into 6, just 4 points out. So, the series then went to Dover, and unfortunately scheduling conflicts prevented GSRC from being there to show Travis Henderson besting 10 other drivers. And here's the way that the chase stands right now following that Dover race. Now, Borowski still is on top. Henderson and Wolf swap spots. Those 3 drivers have a comfortable cushion to the cutoff line there. Now, Brock claws his way into the top 4. Parrott continues to move up, now in 5th, tied with Cologne, who has fallen down out of the top 4. Now, making appearance into the chart is 2-time winner Tad the Lone Granger. Good to see him on there. So, Sean, that's the point situation. What are the race details?
Well, Soup, let's talk about it here real quick. In the WSU race details here, they run the Gen 6. That's the Ford, the Toyota, and the Chevrolet. Fixed setup on these machines for the chase. It was open all season, but they fixed them up for the chase. And 100% fuel, Soup. Qualifying going to be the best of 3 laps this evening, actually, not 2. We do have 133 laps on tap. That's 200 miles here. Fast repairs, no sir, you don't get them. You better take care of the race car. With speeds over 200 miles an hour, it's a tough thing to do here. Incident cap, no, there's none of that. But watch out, you do have to be on your best behavior. The restarts, they will be double file. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the pole sitter choose the lane inside or out?
I believe he does. No, I'm not sure if he gets to do it on the start, but I think he gets to do it on the restarts.
On the restarts, yeah. That's correct. Okay, now the weather. Beautiful evening here at the track. Partly cloudy, 78 degrees. 78 degrees on track, about 55% humidity. Lots of horsepower and probably a bit of grip out here tonight, Soup. Look forward to be side by side and fast for most of the evening.
Now, it's been a really long series. We've been covering these guys for the whole entire series, alternating missing about every other race. We've got a couple new names in here, Sean. They're always fun to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we've had a couple of new names. A few new names show up this evening. Let's see, who do we got there? It was, well, I do see Vincent Vorosky has made an appearance this evening. That's relation to Trevor Vorosky. I don't remember the exact relation. Derek Prater in this evening, and another guy named Jason Merritt and Garrison Hogan. So those drivers coming on board this evening, checking things out, and we welcome them on in. Look forward to seeing them run. Derek Prater, a Michigan driver, and let's see, where's trying to Garrison Hogan from Georgia.
Yeah,
and Jason Merritt from Michigan also. So we'll hopefully see all those guys on the track when we get started soon.
We've come to be so familiar with the regulars here. It's always nice to see some fresh faces. We don't really know what's going on with them. It's good to see, are they going to be running up front? Are they going to be running in the back? Are they going to be behaving themselves? That's always the question that comes to mind when you get the newcomers in here. Remember, it's the chase format now. This series mirrors the regular NASCAR series that goes on almost every Sunday. These guys race every Sunday at the same track. Wherever NASCAR is, that's where these guys are going to be. Right now, they're on race 5 of the chase. It's a 10-race chase here at the end of the season. And then actually on the final race from Homestead, when NASCAR's having their big event, the top 4 drivers, of course, everyone's going to be invited to race, but the top 4 drivers will be competing against each other. Top finishing driver is going to be declared the champion. We look on here, I see that many of the chase, there's really 12 drivers that are in the chase, but actually about 9 that are contenders here. Looks like a lot of them are here. Wolf, Brock, Vorosky, Cologne, Skinner, Parrott. That's about 7. So we're missing about 2 or 3. I don't have my chart with me off the top of my head. I can't say who's missing. Sean, I love Charlotte, though. Always puts on some good racing.
Yeah, it really does. And, looking at the board right now and the times, man, they're all so close. Everybody within about 0.2 of a second of each other right now on the qualifying times. And That's just that's the top 6. Looking at the practice times, they were all within about a half a second of each other. So everybody pretty evenly matched here this evening. Should be fun to watch. Talking about race control, talking about the pit entry and pit exit right now, and on that exit, they'll be looking for them to exit on the just out of turn 2 and onto the backstretch. And on entry, they're calling for turn 3, I believe. That's what I'm hearing. And 3 pit boxes. They don't want you going any more than 3 pit boxes through to get to yours. So penalties will be levied for that. So we want to keep an eye on that this evening. Got to behave yourself on pit road. But looks like we got a field of about 15 to kick this off tonight.
Pit exit here on the oval should be a little easier than it is on the road course here. I know this is an oval series, but the road course one kind of just dumps you out right into the middle of the action. You have to make a sharp left at the end of the corner. If you don't turn it sharp, you find yourself on the racing line.
Right in the middle of the racing line. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the road course here not quite as forgiving for entry to the track.
And of course, this series mimics the NASCAR series like I talked about. Unfortunately, we were not able to cover either one of the road course events, and hopefully next season WSU will be back and we'll be able to cover the ones at Sonoma or at the Glen. Hey, Sean, here's one of our favorite drivers to keep an eye on. I'm glad he's here today. He's been looking to get a win, and that's Alan Westman.
Yeah, Alan Westman looked pretty good in practice. Wasn't the fastest car on track, but he's still working with the set, feeling his way around, and right now he's qualified just about where he was practicing. So we'll see him, I'm sure, fighting for a win here before the evening's over. I got to tell you, though, watching practice, one of the real trouble spots seems to be that entry into 3 and keeping the car down on the track. When I say down on the track, really down in that lower groove, because it seems like you get somewhere up in the middle groove or just to the right of it. You're looking here on screen.
That's Parrot and the familiar sun drop machine having some issues you were just talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And the car really wants to push bad up into that wall. If you smack the wall coming off the exit of turn 4, I guarantee you that car is coming immediately back to the left across the track. Very hard to keep it up in the wall and out of the racing line. These guys are going to have to watch out for that early in this race. They'll get a little bit of heat in these tires. And even in the draft, again, the push, it's real. And it's going to be live here tonight on the Global Sim Racing Channel.
We talked about Westman. He is not a chaser. He got a late start to the series. But the way he's been running, he's notorious for sitting in the back, and then he'll find his way up through the pack, and you'll see him up front by the end when the final 10 races, that's final 10 laps. That's when you'll see him make his move there. Also, some other drivers that are regulars that are not chasers is Matthew Cisna. He comes around a lot. David Nannon shows up more often than not. Good to see them there as well. Brad Walsh is a part-time driver. Good to see him here also as well. Look at that beautiful shot there from Dougie Beard camera shot from the blimp. Charlotte at night. The weather looks a little prettier there than it was here the last couple days at Charlotte. They had some issues there, I think.
Yeah, just a few, and certainly our thoughts go out to everybody there on the southeast coast has been dealing with all that horrible weather and damage. I don't know if you saw the pictures from New Smyrna Speedway there in Florida, but flipped over the entire grandstand. The good news is
know that.
Well, the good news is the playground is safe. It was not destroyed. So, but no, seriously, a lot of trouble in those areas, and they've got a lot of work to do. Hopefully, all the tracks there in the areas affected will be ready to go by next season. I guess that is one of the good things, is that a lot of those facilities had started to end their seasons, their regular race programs for the season. So, again, hopefully damage was limited to some of those. But, yeah, tough deal, and hopefully things get back to normal quick.
Okay, let's go trackside. And now, for the most famous words in sim racing, here is your Grand Marshal and principal owner of Mama Jean Racing, Gene Vivian.
Drivers, grid your race cars.
Go, drivers.
And Mama Jean calls the cars out to the grid. And the weather, like in James Taylor's mind and here in the iRacing platform as well, is always, it's always nice. Maybe sometimes a little warm, maybe sometimes a little foggy, but for the most part, usually good racing conditions. We have a nice crowd on hand today. And let's go ahead and run down your starting order now. Sean, on the front row, a pair of chasers, Travis Henderson and Joshua Wolf.
All right, and row 2 is going to be comprised of Brad Walsh, 3rd. Dawson Brock, going to start 4th.
Then the third row, Trevor Bobrovsky there in the inside of row 3. Outside of him, another chaser, Cordell Cologne.
And there he is, Alan Westman, going to start 7th, row 4. Jason Merritt, going to start 8th, outside of row 4.
Merritt really the first unknown of all the drivers so far. Then the next row is going to be made up of chaser Nick Parrott, and then another newcomer, Garrison Hogan.
All right, then we go on back here to David Nannon, number 21. He'll start 11th today in row 6. Matthew Cisna, 12th.
Derek Prater going to be starting in the unlucky 13th position. And then in the number 20 machine, it's Alex Skinner.
And I don't think Vincent Vavrovsky is here. In fact, I'm pretty sure. I don't see him connected. I don't see David Nannon connected either, Sue.
Yeah, Vincent has disappointed me before when his name shows up there. I'm not sure if we've ever got to actually call him race there.
All right, looks like we're going to get to start with the unlucky number 13 drivers in the field.
This series noted for some beautiful paint schemes out there again. Of course,
yeah,
right. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, I was going to say it's Cancer Awareness Month and Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I happened to notice that Dawson Brock, the number 83, got something a little special going on his paint scheme. The GoPro machine there got all pink paint job, pink wheels, looking. That's a flaming hot pink, sir.
The number 3 machine of Nick Parrott was doing something kind of fishy. I'm not sure. He started early and then let the entire grid go around him. I wonder if Nick has decided he's going to start from the back and just hang out there a little bit.
Well, in fact, I'm showing Garrison Hogan and Nick Parrott both slipping back to the back of the field, both taking the EOL.
Could be maybe a penalty that they had to serve. Either way, I don't think it's going to be that costly with a small field like we have right now, and maybe getting out of the way, probably not the worst thing that could happen. Some nice stationary shots there from Dougie Beard as the cars goes by, as if you were standing just inside the wall. Look at those cars glimmering in the halogen lights. And no car glimmers more than the pace car that's out in front right now, that beautiful chrome-plated Mustang, which any minute will be pulling off. And Travis Henderson will be pacing the field. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And the number 24 machine of Travis Henderson dives it on the outside into the first corner, but he's not going to be able to hold it. That 15 machine is going to duck inside and get that one done. That's Joshua Howlin' Wolf out in front. Henderson behind him. Brock drops into 3rd. And Cordell Cologne in the 50 machine running 4th. Rounding out your top 5, Brad Walsh, Sean.
Yeah, and Walsh in a real battle here. Here he goes. Trevor Vavrovsky down on the inside of the track. Westman dead in his tracks back there on the inside. Newcomer, the number 55, Jared Prater up there in the battle. Whoa, takes the nose off of Westman there. Oh, and dives to the inside. There goes Prater.
Top 4 cars all running single file. No action up there. It's Varun Borowski out in front of the 10 machine with that 55 of Derek Prater on the inside. Brad Walsh on the outside. See if he can make that line go. Oh, Walsh has to check up. Almost gets back into Alan Westman.
Gotta be careful. Early days in this race. You do not want to mess it up. Skinner with a couple wheels down in the grass, doing a little lawn maintenance for the crew out there. Whoa! Just up ahead, Brad Walsh goes up the track right in front of Westman.
Let's go up front, maybe a pass for the lead. No, Travis Henderson just taking a little peek, and they're happy to ride behind Howlin' Wolf right now as they work around here, completing lap number 3. Now Henderson makes that dives that 24 down to the inside of the dog leg. Comes across in second through the start-finish line, but now has the inside position into turn 1. They are side by side through 1 and 2. Who's going to get the better drive off of 2? Usually it goes to the outside line, and right now, that looks like Wolf of the 15 machine gets a little better drive. Henderson trying to keep that 24 alongside of him. He's going to keep Henderson to the outside. They go into 3 side by side, fighting awfully hard, awfully early. They come across side by side. Ciala's bathtubs down across the start-finish line. Who's going to lead lap number 4? It's going to go to Wolf. Oh my goodness, by 1/1000th of a second. And now Henderson finally closes the deal. That 24 machine going to get the lead.
Soup back here, Westman dropping through the field, already back to 9th. About to lose that spot to Alex Skinner. Down there, the 03 and Jason Merritt working under him. Westman just doesn't look comfortable in the car yet. I know, credit to him for trying to run that high line and take care of the tires early, but it's cost him a lot of spots. Very well could be what he's doing. Not a bad place to run, but you got to keep it off the wall up there. That's the sacrifice you got to watch out for.
We're right on board with Allen right now, running in 10th position. Looking ahead at Jason Merritt. Westman in his familiar kind of gold, the Browning machine. Love that car. Really a pretty paint job, that number 12.
Vrosky starting to get a bit of a run on Cordell Cologne, trying to set him up for a pass. Getting a run on him, coming out of 4. Watch out.
Vrosky not able to get it, and Cologne's going to duck in front of Vrosky now. Here comes Cologne, going to duck. Try one more. I'm sorry, but Vrosky going to dive in one more time now on the inside. Cologne in that 50 machine on the high side. Look at the run the 50's going to get with the momentum up there on the top side. Vrosky trying to keep that 10 revved up as much as he can. Dives it in. Side by side again. Vrosky starts to drift up. I thought he was going to get into Cologne. They keep it across into Cologne again. Gets the drive off of 4. He's going to lead the lap. You wonder how much Vrosky's using up his tires trying to make that inside line work.
Oh, it looks like Matthew's system might be having some problems out there on track. Something's going on with his visuals.
He's talking, and right now he's still doing okay. Right behind him, that's got to be scary to Hogan. Garrison Hogan running in 13th position right now, saying, hopefully everything's okay. I'd give him a little more room if I could, Garrison. Oh, and there he goes. Something happened to Cisna. He's in the wall, the 27 machine. It didn't look right either.
Yeah, he's saying that it was a graphics issue he was having, but all right, well, let's get back to the racing because Vrosky, Cologne still side by side. Prater now in the mix. Prater right there down on the inside behind Vrosky.
And we have an issue here. Sissel's not able to exit out. His car is parked right on the the little logo there for the Charlotte Raceway. And it's just kind of as if it was being pushed by invisible crewmen.
Well, he had started complaining. We're going to pick it up on the replay now. He had started complaining about a problem long before this. I say long, but maybe about a half a lap before this, and then finally, whatever the issue was, it appears like it finally let go, and obviously the car gets off track here. Luckily, doesn't collect anybody.
And now he's able to get the car. I would think he wasn't able, somehow he lost connection and wasn't able to hit the escape key to get off the track, but now he gets it in the pits. So the yellow comes out, Sean, on lap number 11, I believe.
Yeah, lap 11. So I think you'll probably see the field come in here. Why not? You got 10 laps on, or 11 laps on those tires. Let's throw 4 more on. It doesn't cost you anything. You already paid for it. You bought your ticket.
There you go. And with such a small field, track position not that important. Wouldn't be surprised, though, to see some of the drivers back in the chase that at every point matters may want to stay out here, pick up a lap lead. See if anybody listens to me. And
Skinner.
There we go, Alex Skinner. That's how he's going to get that point. Comes across in that beautiful blue and white Snickers machine. Hopefully he'll be able to keep all the body work on that machine. We've seen him sometimes be driving the Knickers machine as the S gets knocked off of that thing.
Soup, I might have to disappoint you at some point here. Looks like Vrosky gets out of the pits first. I believe Alex Skinner has updated the paint job on that car,
no.
And Trading Paints has misled you once again, sir.
I've refreshed him. What's he driving? He's not in the.
He's actually in the tailor-made M2 driver.
Okay. Now, how do we know that? How do we know that you two are right and or maybe you two are wrong and I'm right?
Well, it's what everybody's seeing on YouTube right now.
The director is always right. He tells me. Okay.
I tell you what, the car we are seeing, that Toyota is beautiful. It's a black trimmed in gold suit around the bottom and the rear end of the car. Flat gray numbers trimmed in gold also.
Well, let's take a look then at the leader then, because I'd like to make sure that my paint is the same as that one. I sure hope it's a blue and orange Golf colored machine.
Oh yeah,
All right.
No worries. Yeah, Trevor's still running the Golf machine proudly. Absolutely, representing the Great Northwest.
We really do get familiar with a lot of these paint schemes. Of course, the 24 probably the most familiar one out there. Sometimes he slaps a different sponsor on it, but it always
Yeah, no, the T-Rex is still hungry.
All right, they're lining up 2 by 2. Currently working lap number 14. They'll be doing lap number 15 when we go to green. And I guess they're just practicing racing, lining up side by side.
Oh.
The laps on the pace car.
What's going on with Westman there? Westman all of a sudden had his car drove all the way off the track down to the inside and came back up. Maybe needed a break from the wheel there just for a second.
Probably reaching for his drink and then looked up and said, "Oh my!" Many a times driving to Las Vegas from LA, I've said, "Well, the road's going straight, the car's going straight. Maybe if I just close my eyes for a little while." Now the lights are off the pace car as they work currently lap 15. They'll be going 16 when we go green. Couple chasers up in front, Trevor Borowski and Travis Henderson. Travis, we'll get you a nickname here. Come back next season, I'll have one for you. And the 15 machine of Joshua Wolf on the inside of row 2. Sean, this will give us a good idea what's the preferred line right now. Borowski has decided to take the high side.
Yeah, we'll see. The high side honestly looks pretty good. We saw there just before the caution flag. We saw a good run up top there. So we'll see. Could be starting to come in. They worked on it a little bit in practice. So how about the newcomers back there on row 3 to restart this race? We've got Prater and Merritt right there side by side to get started. Like I said, off the 3rd row.
Okay, well now the pace car lights are off. He's coming around turn 4. The pace car will peel, and so will the thunder of the engines as we are now working lap 16. Keep an eye on the high side. That's the number 10 machine of Trevor Borowski in that orange and blue Golf car. Kind of squeezing Henderson in there, not letting Henderson get too far up. Now they go into 1 and 2. Henderson pulls out in front. He gets a little bit of help from the 15. Nice little job from Wolf there, pushing Henderson along, leaving Borowski on the high side out to dry. Something to put in the notebook there, Sean.
Checking in with the back of the field. Everybody gets a pretty good restart, but it's Brad Walsh dropping all the way to the back of the field. Just riding right now. Cordell Cologne right in front of him. Alex Skinner finally took that pit stop. That shuffled him all the way to the back. He's working. Parrott just in front of him.
Let's look at 4th position. Dawson Brock now finally gets a nose out in front of the 55 machine. They were running side by side. That was Derek Prater. Now Prater trying to do a little dip-to-doo, a little hokey-doke, little ipsy-doo, little underneath move, and he's going to get it as he crosses in front of the number 283 machine of Dawson Brock. Dawson, of course, is in the chase. He wants to be very careful. He cannot afford a bad finish here. Dawson with a run off of two. Sorry, now he gets side by side again.
Prater all over the track down there on the bottom. Got to be careful.
Watching the whole thing happen is Westman back there. Just pick a side. Alan, who are you going to go with?
Oh, and I know Alan's getting a tremendous run. He's having to get out of it to avoid running up on Dawson like that. But that's two sets of cars there side by side. The 03 at Jason Merritt in there.
Yeah, the 55 Prater gets no bite off the inside line on quarter exit through.
Yeah, he's fighting it. Yeah, he's fighting it bad. You can tell. You see it here on the screen. Right up on Dawson Brock.
That battle continues. Yeah, my spidey senses are tingling here. We need to stay on this battle for fourth. Again, the 55 machine. Prater trying to get it to work down low. Dawson is really playing Russian roulette there with that 55 machine. Because one of these times I feel is going to get loose and come right up into the 83 machine. Brock, as I say that, Brock gets high, maybe glances off the outside wall. Now that's the 03 underneath there that they're dealing with, and that's the newcomer, Jason Merritt. Merritt saying it got a little twitchy.
Yeah, Dawson Brock's machine still looks clean. I don't think there was any contact pursuit, but it was awful close. Has dropped it back just a little bit, kind of killed his momentum.
Prater. Cars. Yeah, go ahead, John.
I was going to say, Prater's starting to kind of catch Favrovsky. He's got in his draft.
11 cars in the hunt. It goes back to 11th place for Brad Walsh. A couple drivers off the pace are Garrison Hogan, and Matthew Cisna, of course, has brought it into the pits now.
Yeah, who knows with the system. Don't know if his graphics issue will be solved. But hey, we got a battle here for second. Favrovsky taking a look on Wolf.
And honestly, what you have out here are three drivers, Henderson, Wolf, and Favrovsky, all in the chase. They're all comfortably in the chase, as a matter of fact. I talked about the big cushion that they had. And honestly, when we get down to that final race, these are probably the three guys who are going to be battling it out for the championship. And now they kind of fly in position right now as that number 10 machine, Favrovsky, tries to take a look on the inside. The guy that doesn't belong is Derek Prater. He's not in the chase back there in that 55. Did a good job of making that low side work. I didn't think it was going to work for him, but he was able to leave those guys behind, get up in the front.
Now, I will tell you this, Prater was second in practice. He spent a lot of time. He was in for most all of that practice session leading up to this 2-hour practice session. So he put the work in. He came ready, and he's got himself up here battling for a podium spot here early on.
Let's jump back to fifth because my nerves are just reaching their bitter end here as Brock again on the outside of another car. This time it's Jason Merritt. Brock is just showing a lot of trust in these guys that they're able to keep that car on the inside without sliding up into them.
Yeah, and turn 4 is really that's the spot coming off of 4 there where it. As we're coming into 3, actually, you'll watch off of turn 4 here.
Yeah, Brock's car does not work down low. I think he's really, you saw him try to go underneath of Merritt that time, and he had to really get out of it.
Ooh, and the car got really squirrely on Dawson there.
Oh, he's still struggling a little bit. Yeah, he tried the low side, and that didn't sit well.
The entry was horrible into 1 there, and he had to get out of it, and it got the car all out of shape.
So he's kind of darned if he does, darned if he doesn't. If he tries to put the car down low, it's hard to handle. And if he puts the car up high, somebody gets underneath him, and he has to hope that they don't get up into him. Now Dawson Brock back up in his comfortable position up there in the fast lane.
All right, so Alex Skinner now gets around Dawson Brock. Dawson just taking it easy right now. A lot of time left here on track. They stay green. Got a long way, but we do have a fight for the lead, Sue.
Just peeking in there. It's Bobrovsky. No, I'm sorry. That's the 15 car of Wolf. Sorry about that. That's Wolf getting on the inside of Henderson. Bobrovsky, meanwhile, watching the whole thing, drifts that 10 machine way up high. And again, the inside line doesn't work. The momentum from Henderson on the high side gets it done.
Really does seem right now, the early portion of this race, if you can hold it up there and keep it right up near the wall, you get a tremendous run down the hill off the turn.
Okay, now they come up on the 16 machine of Hogan. Oh, and I think Henderson might have got a piece of the wall.
Yeah.
He got a little bit scared coming up on Hogan. Hogan gave him room, I thought.
I think Bobrovsky got a piece of the wall back there, too. He had to check up.
Prater saying something over there. Bobrovsky saying something as well. We'll watch replay here. Not sure if Hogan did anything wrong here. Oh, I don't think he got the wall, and I'm not sure Bobrovsky did either. But boy, Henderson just came up on him fast, and maybe just got a little bit surprised by Hogan's line. I think Henderson might have been trying to get a little bit of draft off the lap car. That's all right. No harm, no foul. They still run 24, 10, and 15. Anderson, Bobrovsky, and Wolf, and I heard somebody in the wall. I think it was maybe Hogan got a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, Hogan blew an engine.
Wow, tough break.
Clearly that's why he was off the pace. The engine wasn't tuned right. And he's ripping his shirt right down the chest there. Now Hogan, he's parked it. Let's hope he hits the exit here, so we don't get a yellow, and that's fine. We do. We stay green, working lap number 33 of 133. I can do the math on that one. There's 100 laps to go.
Yes, sir, there is. And I'll tell you what, it's time to start thinking a little bit of strategy here. We've got a solid green flag run going since we got restarted at lap 16, Soup. So you start doing the math. These cars have been out here now for almost 20 laps on these tires. Everybody settled in, doing a little bit of racing, working with each other. Really impressed by Derek Prater, what he's been able to do here early in this race. He's hung with the leaders and has looked at times a little uncomfortable doing it, but he's got a run going on Josh Wolf now as they come out of 4. Looking to the inside, backs off just a bit.
Prater probably has the speed and the talent to be a chaser. I think his big downfall was his truancy from the series. You have to show up to score points, and I think he just missed too many races. There's about up front, I think there's probably 14 victories between those top 3 drivers up there. Anderson, Bobrovsky, and Wolf. Nobody else here in the race today has been lucky enough to get to the checkered flag first.
You know, here's a fun little battle that's been going on for a while. Let's look at Jason Merritt and Cordell Colon. Those two have been hooked up here for just a bit, putting in a lot of time to get to know each other. Soup, Jason new here, and Cordell and he have been running nose to tail and being friendly with each other here early on in the race.
Cordell probably likes to make new friends. He just doesn't want the new friend to cost him any trouble here.
Cordell,
he's trying to get in that chase.
Cordell had a little push coming out of the turn. Got right up against the wall.
Let's go up to 4th position. Here comes that 55 machine trying to make that inside work now. Boy, he gets it down on the apron and the car starts to come up in front of Wolf. I think he actually said, watch out, Joshua and Derek are talking to each other. I think Prater actually said, "Uh-oh."
Got a battle for. Sorry, Soup. Got a battle for position back here. Skinner side by side with the 88 Brad
two cars
Walsh.
are off. Cologne is off.
Oh!
Cologne's, they spit it. It was that Merritt and Cologne. We talked about it. Cologne liking to make friends, but that was a little too friendly. Did it bring out the yellow? Maybe not. As they went through the grass, I think we stay under green.
Oh no! Yeah, now okay. There we go. The admin is throwing the caution. You needed to throw a caution there. What happened?
I think there was more. Skinner got involved as well.
Yeah,
Skinner and Walsh.
That's what I was on. As Skinner and Walsh were right next to each other, they saw them check up. They started to decelerate, and because they were so close to each other, they clipped each other and both went riding through the grass. Both took damage.
All right, so we got our work cut out for us this time, Director.
Yeah,
Let's watch this a few different times here. First, we'll start with Cologne. Now, here's the initial contact. This one was pretty passive. Those two guys just went through the field, but the guys behind, you see them just go by in the grass. We'll take another look at it with them. They got caught up in it, and those are the guys that brought out the yellow.
And you know, actually, I said they were decelerating, but as you watch here on the replay, it's Skinner that looks like comes down, might have come down back across the track. Now, that's not the replay we're on there. I'm sorry. That was the Cologne we were watching.
Yeah, let's try one with Alex Skinner.
Yeah, Skinner and that was Skinner and Brad Walsh getting hooked up just behind the spin of Cordell Cologne.
Yeah, the spin happens in front of them. Then I don't know if they get scared.
I don't know, but you'll see here, Skinner's car comes down the track here up the exit.
And look at, I don't know where, Skinner on the outside.
Yeah.
Just kind of squeezed him. And then he hits the wall, and that's what brought out the yellow, because the other one, they just kind of slid through the grass and then got back out there. So now the yellow's out. That's bad news for Alex, because he is in that hunt, and his car does not look healthy. We're going to try to go on board with Alex. Maybe that'll give us an idea. Oh, no, we're on Brad. Now, Brad's on the inside. Oh. He comes across. Whoa! Just a little flying across when they hit the pavement there. I think Brad's going to be able to continue.
Yeah, remember, there are no fast repairs, Soup, and a lot of cars still sitting on the pit lane taking that repair.
And I was just going to bring up the point that Never Say Die Dawson Brock had dropped all the way back to 11, so all of that nonsense happened in front of him. So here comes Parrott in right now. Did we miss a pit cycle already? Have they come in?
Yeah, all the leaders had come in, Soup. Yes, we did. In fact, we were watching the end of that replay when they did, but I'm looking at several cars that are pretty beat up right now coming off the pit lane, and one of them's Brad Walsh, and just behind him, Jason Merritt, having to deal with a little bit of right front damage on that car.
So Parrott stays out to lead a lap, and again, you have to keep putting yourself in the mind of the drivers here that are in this chase. Parrott is only 4 points out of the cutoff line, so every point is important to him. He'll get a bonus point for leading a lap. And that's the only bonus points that this series allows, and it doesn't matter how many laps you lead. It's one if you can lead one.
And an update on Matthew Cessna. He is back in the race, Soup. Appears the trouble he was having has been solved for now.
Let's put the camera right now. Let's do a replay with Jason Merritt. He just crashed under yellow. Just happened as we were talking. Looks like he was up to speed here now. He's coming around. This is under yellow. He's coming around. And the car...
it drifted up into the wall. Yeah. He just drifted up into the wall. Wonder if he had an issue.
Boy, look at that.
He's gone. And so is Alex Skinner. What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Put the hammer in the oven because the camel has learned to read. I have no idea what I just said because I have no idea what I'm seeing right now. There you see the old 3 machine under yellow just Kind of sticks it on the inside wall. Ah, the mysteries, the vagaries of iRacing. Well, one thing I do know for sure is the lights are off the pace car. And we'll be going green here in just a moment. Currently working lap number 43. 44 when they cross the start-finish line. That 24 machine on the inside, he's going to be setting the pace. On the outside is Trevor Borowski in that orange and blue Golf machine. Boy, the 24 really holds him up, really making him wait. Everybody being very patient. Borowski gets a great jump on the high side. They go side by side, Sean, into one. But again, it looks like that low side's going to pay off. The high side did not work again on the start.
Yeah, and you know what? Hey, good job for Prater there. He did a good job on the restart there, not jumping it and getting in the back of Henderson, but instead staying right with him. Now he's getting the run off the turn. Already holds on a second there, kind of starting to leave Pavlovsky back in his dust there a bit. Westman in fourth now, fighting.
If any of those drivers who's left, Matthew Cisna or Alex Skinner, veterans of the series, if you want to come and talk to us, we'd love to have you for listening to the broadcast. Sean, what's interesting is it seems like the low line is the preferred line during restarts, and the high line may be the preferred line during racing.
Yeah, I don't think you want to try that high line until you got a little bit of heat in the tire. I think that's why we're seeing him stick with that low line on the restart. But we're still side-by-side Parrott, Wolf, side-by-side Dawson, Brock, and Cordell Cologne just behind them.
And we watched Dawson there in that blue number 83 machine, trying to make the low side work again. He's not comfortable with it. He's got Cologne behind him. And my rods and I've been instructed that my rods and codes.
Cordell Cologne's got trouble. Cordell Cologne's got trouble. The car
Say
is
that,
loose.
Cordell, he's got it. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, man.
That car was slipperier than a grease pig, but somehow he managed to get a hold of that thing and keep it going straight.
Let's ride on board with him here, Sue.
Look at him work the wheel.
Yes, and he saves it. Good job by Cordell Cologne to keep it off the wall and on the track and stay out of trouble there.
Remember when I showed you the overlays here, he was in that magic top 4 spot after New Hampshire, only to fall out of it another race later, so he's trying to earn his way back. To be honest with you, it looks like the top 3 spots in the chase are going to be pretty comfortable.
Here we go.
Passer lead, nope, and Prater's going to back out. Again, that inside line, just hard to get a bite there. Those top 3 spots is going to be Henderson, Bobrovsky, and Wolf. They feel pretty comfortable. It's a battle for who's going to fill that 4th spot. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I was going to say, Prater's still having the same problem in the same spot on the track there, Sue. That trying to make that move inside just not friendly to him at all.
But you got to race where they ain't, because Henderson's not coming off that eye line. We watch again here as we ride on board with Derek. He dives it in. He pulls alongside now, but there is just no momentum for him on corner exit through the even number corners of 2 and 4.
He's fighting that wheel off of that corner exit every time, and that's what's killing his momentum. Got a nice run here down on the inside. And as he comes off, again, the car it doesn't flow through there. He's got a bobble every time through there. He's just fighting it.
He does it again. He doesn't get far enough along to do a slide job because he's never going to be able to clear Henderson.
Right, exactly. And he's making that right front very angry.
It's got to be yelling at him now.
Mm-hmm. And you see right now, he's moving up the track behind him, not getting a run now, and he's falling into the clutches of Trevor Borowski right behind him.
Sean, do the tires come back to you if you make them angry? Can you take it easy? Will they cool down for you? Or once you ruin them, are they pretty much ruined till the next stint?
Well, that's the problem. I mean, you've really got to get out of it significantly for them to get any real cool down. How much time and how many positions you want to give up on the track to do that? Racers race. You keep digging and just try to adjust your driving style to the fact that your car is just not handling like it should be right now.
I think Prater's saying if I could just get this pass, then I could run the high line and make Henderson do the work. And what this has allowed the other drivers to do now, bring it up to Ross, who's coming in here, and Wolf looking to have a little fun.
Travis got to be really, really careful up top there. It's great to run that line like I talked about earlier. You got to commit to it though, and you got to make sure you hit your mark every time. It's so easy to slip up there, and especially coming out of turn 4. Clip a little bit of that wall. Like I said, if you clip it coming out of 4, it's never really going to end well. Vrosky getting a run on the high side. Has to check up just a bit there, Sue.
And what this has done now, Prater has lost his corner exit. He's not able to get the high side, so now he's really in trouble. I think he's going to lose the spot, and I think he's probably going to lose it also to the 15 machine because he's not able to come all the way up at corner exit because he's got a car out there. Yep, and he drops back into 4th. Honestly, that may be the best thing that happened to Derek right now. Sit back. Let's try it again next stint.
I cursed his tires.
And here he comes. Lap 56. It's time for the alarm has gone off. Alan Westman has got out of his PJs. He's put on his racing clothes. And now he is up there running in 5th in touch with the leaders. Meanwhile, up front, let's see here. The 10 machine. He's going to try to show Prater how this is done. And that's Vrosky. Gets to the inside. That's got to be annoying to Derek, who tried it 7 times. It didn't work. And the 10 machine gets up there. Now they're side by side.
Yeah, and you see what happened there. You got to watch Vrosky's line. Really smooth on the exit. Let's see if he can do it again here.
Oh, that's pretty good. He's coming across. Let's try it one more time. Boy, that inside line, it's got to be frustrating. This time, Trevor takes it really down low. Almost puts it on the white line. Trying to get the car to rotate, I think. Getting it on the apron, but that's not going to do it.
He is fighting the good fight right now. Hal and Wolf back there just watching. Loving the popcorn position right now. That was Cessna coming off the track just in front of him.
Henderson reminds me when I was a little boy at the park and the ping pong table was out there, and there was one guy who was always winning. Everybody coming up trying to beat him, and they lose, and then Henderson says, next. First it was Prater, now it's Vrosky trying to get the best of him, and if Vrosky can't do it, I think Josh Wolf says, all right, I'll take a shot at it. Travis Henderson, the king of the table right now.
You know, our leader, Travis Henderson, right now, top speed this evening, leads all drivers. 203 miles an hour. Sue, we're flying. You can get left at 203, correct?
I think so. Hey, here's a pretty good run for Bobrovsky. This is the best one I've seen him have so far. He's actually going to lead across the start-finish line this time. Now he's ahead going into 1. I think he may be able to get this one done. Now he has him cleared. His spotter says clear. Is he going to drift up? He doesn't. Yes, he does. He closes the door at Henderson. Oh. Now he's going to make Henderson go down low.
Henderson having to make a move there. Taking it back. Trying to.
Let's see what that 24 car feels like down on the inside. Boy, it looks pretty good. Henderson actually puts it across the grass. Henderson wants to lead this race. He does not like to be behind.
Vrosky still getting a really nice run there off the top, and he pulls it off, Sue. Completes the pass as they head down the backstretch into 3.
So there's a new lead dog leading the pack out there right now in the Call of the Wild that is the WSU Cup Series, and it is Trevor Vrosky. Travis Henderson in second, Joshua Wolf in third. They have left behind Derek Prater and Alan Westman.
Yeah, and Prater actually just got by Westman. Westman had gotten around him, but Prater takes it back. Again, Prater.
Oh, Vorosky puts it in the wall. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Vorosky put it in the wall. He was way out in front. And he glances it off the wall, loses all of his momentum.
Out of 4, and you're going to be on board with him here, and it's out of 4 where he finds trouble, smacks it, good old tank slapper. The good news is he was able to hold on to it, and the car did not shoot back across the track. Lucky for Travis Henderson and boys, they're able to get by.
Bravosky says wall schmall right now, and he's right back fighting at it again as he's got himself up into second position around the Howlin' Wolf. Henderson, though, back out in front again after a brief respite in second, out in front where he likes to be. Now you can see at the very top of your screen, actually he's not in there, it's the blue machine just not showing up, of Dawson Brock. He's made it all the way up to 6th now. Remember, he was in all that nonsense. I'm sorry, it's not, it's purple pink, they're telling me. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for these bad rods and cones. Actually, I understand it's Grandma I have to thank for this one. But he's up now running in 6th position, ahead of Cordell Cologne. Wait a minute. Cordell Cologne's a lap down, yeah.
Well, as we get to that, almost to the halfway point here, Sue, honestly, Dawson's sitting in fine position right now. We're still going to, we still got a pit stop to go to get this race done, and anything can happen. That fight is just in front of him up the track. It's not that far. So Dawson's just got to keep putting in some good laps here. His times are still competitive. It's right there with the leaders of the race, so just keep digging, Dawson.
Oh, we have the Trevor's having trouble.
Up in the air, the front end of that car, and he's trying to get back up on track. Let's go on board with Varun Vorosky, Sue.
He got up behind Henderson, and it's almost like the car lost downforce, and it just hits off through the alfalfa. Does a little Evel Knievel jump over the asphalt and then brings it back up. Once again, he's fine. He's treating that car like it's a rental, though. Banging it off the wall, taking it across the grass, doing some jumps. Little rallycross going on. Kind of reminds me of Blues Brothers there when they finally pull up in front of the courthouse. And when he pulls this car in and crosses finish line and he parks it in pit lane, the whole thing's going to fall apart on him.
Look who's worked his way back up to the front of the field. Oh, Henderson in the wall. Gets it a little high. Prater is right there. Prater looking to take over the lead from Travis Henderson.
We've seen this before, but this time Henderson put it in the wall. That may give Prater a little bit of an advantage. We're going to replay right now. Sean, tell me what you see here. We ride on board with Travis.
He finally just gave up on him. Tires are hot right now, and things are probably getting a little slick there on track. And I told you there was a sacrifice that had to be made up there running that high line, and it just eats him up there a little bit. He wraps it coming off the turn and able to keep it up there and keep the car under control.
Let's go back to the lead right now because Prater finally has Henderson on the outside where he wants him. Prater couldn't get this done on fresh tires. Now he's trying to get it done on 30-lap old tires. Oh, he gets loose coming out of 2. Westman has to check up behind him. Prater's not giving up as he dives it back into 3. Now the 2 cars, as Vorosky puts it in the wall again. Vorosky running in 4th with Wolf behind him in 5th. I think these tires have I think they're cooked, Sean.
I think they're getting there.
And one guy with maybe the best rubber out there might be the 12 machine of Westman. He's just been sitting back there not getting to any of this nonsense that's been going on. In fact, Westman says, all right, I'm coming in. So here's the first guy to blink. It's Alan Westman.
Boy, Derek Prater not afraid to mix it up with Travis Henderson. He's all over Henderson's mirror right now. Westman in the pit. Westman had enough, Sid.
Now, if I look at the lap times that Henderson was running there at the end, 29.2, 29.2, 29.1. When he started, he was running 27.8s, 28.3s, 28. So he's running about a second slower than he would be. So I think this is what Westman is doing. He's coming in. He's going to get fresh rubber, run some hot laps, and then when everybody else comes back, I think you're going to find yourself a new leader with the name of Alan Westman. Oops. And I hear maybe Cologne in the wall. Am I looking? Yep, Cologne bounces it hard off the wall. Oh my, just across, coming out of 4.
Yeah, coming out of 4.
It's a hard hit.
It certainly was. Another tank slapper for Cordell Scalone. That wasn't the first one he's had, unfortunately. Let's look at it on the replay. It's coming out of turn 4. There he is in 3.
Oh, it looks too high. It looked like he was way too high.
Yeah.
And that car wasn't going to come down for him.
He got up in the nasty stuff up there.
So Cologne has come in. Meanwhile, back up front, these two guys continuing at it. Henderson and Prater. Prater again puts it on the apron. The car bounces almost up into Henderson. Oh.
Prater having to use a lot of brake right now. He's using more of it, I'm sure, than he wants to, but good on him. He's not got into Travis Henderson yet. Lots of close calls and close racing, but they haven't made contact. And Prater is in. Had enough of those tires.
Yeah. Now, Westman was only able to get in about, it looks like about 3 laps here on these new tires. I'm not sure not sure if that's going to give him enough time to get around Prater. It'll be interesting to see. Prater is in his stall right now. The right sides are up. He's getting now the left sides are up. So he'll be coming out soon. Westman is just coming through 4.
Yes, he is. Just past the pit entrance, across the front stretch.
Prater is rolling, and now he is back out on the track, but Westman has a full head of steam, and there he goes. The train is leaving. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Alan Westman is now ahead of Prater, and keep in mind that Prater was running nose to nose with Henderson when he came into pit.
I think Westman caught that midnight train there coming through the turn.
He ain't going to Georgia. He's going to North Carolina for maybe his first checker flag of the series. Meanwhile, Travis Henderson going to stay out. Again, Henderson may have done the math, and they said, if I stay out longer, I can do this with one more stop. Remember, there is 53 to go. I can't imagine that he's going to be able to get there. Right now, he's on a 39-lap stint.
Well, my bigger concern is the tires. How long can you hang on to it?
It's very possible, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, that this race could go the distance now, go green the whole way. It's a small field. The field is spread out a bit. The drivers are getting more comfortable. And here comes Varun Varosky coming in.
Prater just passes Westman there on track 2.
Yep. Westman is not really up to speed, is also getting around him as Joshua Wolf.
Vrosky is in the pit.
So right now, Prater is the leader of all the cars who have pitted. Vrosky has come in. His right side is up. Then will come the left side. Prater going by right now, but I think this is only to get his lap back. Nope. That was for position. So Prater as well. Wolf has gotten around him. Westman has got around him. And now Vorosky is out. Fourth in line. And well back. Now look at this. Here comes and Henderson, I think, puts it in the wall as all of these guys are getting hit their laps back. Prater just got his lap back. Wolf got his laps back. And now I imagine Westman. Where is Westman? Man, he is just really slow getting along.
Oh, Westman hanging on back here. Oh, and now the caution's out.
Oh, and it is Vorosky cartwheeling, pinwheeling down the front stretch. The car got loose out of 4, then it turned back around. He bounced the rear off. He wallets the wall with a wall up there, and that 10 car gets on the grass. Yeah.
Just loose in 4. Car comes all the way around. Heavy damage on the Golf Chevy.
Well, it was nice of him to wait for everyone to get their pit stops in. Did anybody not, is the question. Henderson had not. But what's interesting is he had just given up the lead, just let those cars get back on the lead lap. So I believe some of these guys should be able to cycle around. No, but there's a cop behind the pace car. There they get around the pace car. Okay, so now Prater and Wolf. Oh, I'm sorry, I was a little bit behind. Prater and Wolf get around the pace car. They're going to circle back and around behind the pack.
Right.
They're not going to come in. Henderson's going to have to stop.
Yet Henderson's going to have to stop, but Westman, Brock, Parrott, Vorosky, they're all caught still a lap behind.
Well, I imagine all of these guys are going to get the waiver line. In fact, there comes Westman, gets it. Brock gets it. Vorosky still has his car out there. Honestly, Trevor, you don't deserve the rave around if you were part. I guess that's the lucky dog you don't deserve for causing the yellow flag. That Derek Prater comes over the mic and says that worked out pretty well for him. Oh, he's talking about Travis Henderson. Yeah, it did for him.
Yeah, it did. He was losing a lot of time, though, on those old tires. They were passing him like he was standing still. He got up into the wall, beat the car up a little bit. Got to wonder, was it worth it for the end game, for the long-term effect it might have on that car?
What I think we'll do is we'll take a short break here because the lights are still on the pace car right now. We'll stay here just a while longer, make sure the lights stay on this time. And if they do, I think we'll take a short break, give you guys all a chance to go to the fridge, get yourself a little snack, make yourself a little refreshment, come back down, and we'll carry this thing all the way to the end. And the lights are staying on. So this is Global Sim Racing Channel. We'll take a short break. We'll be back before we go green. Soup and Crackers here with you with Joe Peak in the director's van out in the parking lot. Here with the Global Sim Racing Channel bringing you the We Stand United. This is round number 5 in the 10 race chase. And we are at Charlotte. Right now we are under yellow, currently working lap 88. When they cross the start finish line, there will be 45 to go. We're not sure if they can go the distance from here. Right now out in front is the 24 machine of Travis Henderson. He's going to choose that preferred outside line to start with. Derek Prater, on the inside. That number 55 machine, the inside line, has not been able to work yet on a restart. The pace car pulls off. Henderson holding him up, and now he goes. Prater with a pretty good jump as they are side by side across the start-finish line. Henderson on the high side gets a wide swing into one. Prater on the inside. He starts to drift up into Henderson. He's trying to keep that 55 machine down. They are very close. Watching from behind is Joshua Wolf. Wolf trying to push the 55 machine along. Come on, he says, Derek, get on in there. Derek tries to keep the low side. He gets a great drive through 3 and 4. Now off of 4. Can he get a little momentum? No. Henderson in the 24 machine keeps it going. They are almost dead even across the start-finish line. Henderson again takes it up high to get that nice swing in. Prater takes a very shallow entrance, and it's going to cost him because here comes the momentum of the 24. Off of 2, he gets the lead, and he's going to bring along that 15 machine as well, John.
Yeah, getting a little help from the 15 there, getting a little push in the draft. And this is a draft track. Indeed, the speeds are so intense here. Henderson able to continue the momentum, bringing Alan Wolf along with him. Great battle up there for the top 3, but man, Prater gets a great run down into the turn and keeps it down there on the inside. He is battling hard, just abusing those brand new tires early.
All night long, Derek Prater has been racing on his own racetrack, and that's that inside line. And now they almost go 3 wide. Henderson trying to make that car as wide as he can, weaving back and forth, trying to block both Prater and Wolf. Now look at the drive that Prater gets down on the inside. Pretty good bite off of 2. Is there any momentum here? Yeah, he's hanging in there. If he can keep Henderson. Now look, this time Prater's going to be able to get a little wider entry into 3 and 4. Let's see if he drifts it up. He lets it come up a little bit. And he gets a better bite off of 4, Sean. And this time he doesn't lead again across the start-finish line, but he's closer. Prater being very careful not to get up into Henderson. I think if he would go ahead and push that car a little bit wider, take it into the middle lane on entry, he might get a better drive through there. I'm sure Prater appreciates me telling him what line to take here from the booth 3,000 miles away.
A little chatter on the radio there between Henderson and Prater.
Well, what's interesting is when they're side by side and Henderson's on the outside, Henderson will take that middle line and kind of keep Prater tucked in tight. And then as they get to corner entry, Henderson will dive to the outside and then swing down in, leaving poor Prater to stuck trying to make that entry from the low side. Here we go now. He gets around there again. He gets the nose in front. And is he going to lead across the start-finish line this time? No! By 7, my goodness, I can't even count the decimals. 7/10,000ths of a second, I believe. No, 1,000ths of a second. 007. Uh-oh. But now Prater has got the pass done. Now Henderson is trying to look to the inside. Let's see. Oh, Henderson.
Okay, Cordell Cologne making a move back here on Westman. Cordell making the move in turn 4 on Alan Westman. Gets by him, gets himself up to 4th. I'm sorry, Cordell Cologne's in 9th. He's battling back from a lap down, guys.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Henderson got that inside move. Henderson goes back and says to Derek, I don't know what the problem is. That inside pass seemed pretty easy to me. Wolf maybe bounced it off the wall right now. Henderson back out in front. Prater's got to be saying, oh man, I worked and I finally got the lead down the back straight, only to give it up to 3 and 4. And now Joshua Wolf in no hurry to go anywhere. Joshua Wolf happy to push Prater up there, saying, "Go ahead, Prater, try it again."
Just come on, bring it. Wolf gets into the wall, making contact again. Right in front of the lapped car, Cordell Colon. A nervous moment for him. He's just trying to survive at this point. Racing up here with the leaders.
And I guess Colon could say, "I'm trying to get in there, get my lap back," I guess. I'm going to cut him a little slack.
Yeah, he's got a few to get back, though. He's 2 laps down right now.
Yeah, honestly, he's not even in the lucky dog position as Nick Parrott is 1 lap down. .35 to go. Right now they are on a 13-lap stint, so that means they're going to have to go 48 laps on 1 set of tires. I believe that would be the longest stint we've seen tonight.
It would be, and honestly, I think if someone tries, I think we'll see a caution before somebody actually makes it to lap 48 on tires. I just, they just seem to. I was just going to say, they just seem the tires seem to hit a point where they're really good up to a point, then they start to go away, and then they really go away, and then that's trouble.
Yeah, well, they say cautions breed cautions. I think worn tires are probably just as likely a cause for that to happen. Here comes Wolf now on the high side. Let's see what he can do here. Colon gets a little help there from Wesley. I'm going to watch this accordion effect here, Sean.
Yeah, let's check that out on the replay. On board with Westman here. There's Colon right up in front of him. Heading down into turn 3.
Hey, and we have a new leader while this is going on. Getting around, Prater finally made that inside pass work. Meanwhile, Colon comes over the mic and says to Alan Westman, "Sorry about that, go around me, buddy." So now, Prater out in front and starting to get a little bit of distance on that 24 machine.
Yeah, Prater finally pulls off. It seems like he's been working on that all night, hasn't he, Sue?
Now look at this, though. Now Prater has his choice of lines, and he still looks like he's going to take that tight inside line. Let's watch again. I think he just likes to race down there. He's about a line tighter. He's right on that white line. The other guys are about a car length off of it. And it's working. I think that inside line might be faster. The problem is it's only fast if you can get a good corner exit. Once he got around Henderson, now he's got that car roll. Oh! Talk about a corner exit.
Turn 4 again. Bites. It takes another victim. Took a bite out of our leader, Derek Prater. Able to hang on to it still here, Sue.
Yeah, this is boy, they keep moving the wall in on the outside of corner 4. Track gets narrower and narrower. Look at that 55 machine now hugging the inside. Henderson's going to be stuck on the outside now as here comes Howland Wolf. That 15 car is going to lead Henderson across the line for second that lap. And now he gets it done. Up, and let's go to Brad Walsh. Brad Walsh goes across the grass and pinwheels it into the pit wall. That may not bring out the yellow because he's off the racing line.
Way off the racing line, Soup, and that is not going to bring out a caution, but it's probably going to end Brad's night. That car is heavily damaged. Whole front end gone on it.
Watch out, Dr. Ralph Button. I can't think of the announcer. Sorry. It was coming your way. Ralph Punch, I think is his name.
Jerry Punch. Dr. Jerry Punch.
Dr. Jerry Punch. There you go.
I'm sorry, I didn't pick up on that sooner where you were going with that there.
I knew you'd help me out, though.
Yeah, Dr. Jerry Punch.
So, Prater out in front. It's not time yet, but it's getting close. Henderson back in 22nd position. Wolf and Westman. Can they go the distance on fuel? It's too late probably to 26 laps. Is it too late to come in for tires? Probably yes. I think you got to play the can you're dealt.
I don't know what these tires are going to look like in 20 lap soup.
Well, if you're gonna make the move, you got to make it now. I mean, you can't afford to wait too long to have those tires be of any benefit. So
yeah, and I sure hate hitting somewhere within 20 laps to go. If I'm going to do it, I like to do it just outside of that.
Maybe Dawson Brock could afford to do it right now. We should mention Brock running in 5th position. That's going to be very helpful for him. Remember, he's inside the cutoff line for the chase. The guys who are chasing him are Nick Parent and Cordell Colon. They run 7th and 8th. But Sean, because of the point structure, even though Brock may finish a couple positions ahead, he's only going to pick up 1 or 2 points. That's not going to help him much if disaster strikes. So it's going to be very interesting.
Well, our leaders are definitely starting to pull away from Joshua Wolf. Henderson's starting to pick it up a little bit here on our leader, Derek Prater. But those 4 cars are staying hooked up with each other, and for good reason. They've all been running together all night. It seems like they've probably built a little bit of trust racing around each other at this point, Sid.
Absolutely. If Prater comes across now, working lap number 112. Henderson keeping an eye on him. Wolf again drifts a little bit high, and that's going to let that 12 machine. Boy, Westman just does not want to force the issue. Westman's the kind of guy when he asked his wife to marry him, if you want to, you can marry me. I think it'd be a good idea. I don't want to put the pressure on you. He's just sitting back there. He's so polite.
Yes. And now he's overtaking him.
Westman and Wolf side by side, and Westman up into 3rd.
Oof.
So close to getting that first win. And I'll tell you one thing about Allen. I think he probably does a better job of saving his equipment. I think he's been racing much calmer, much easier than these guys up in front, certainly than Prater. I can't imagine that Prater's going to have much left to do this on one set of tires.
I don't know. It's a head scratcher for me, Soup, but I know one thing with 20 laps to go. It's time to boogie, baby. Let's get this party started James Taylor style. I'm ready. I've got Carolina on my mind too right now, and I just wonder, Westman gets around Wolf. Is this Westman's night? Has he been sitting on something back there?
Westman and Prater both looking for their first series win, or at least win this season. What is interesting, though, Sean, is Henderson is now beginning to pull away. Let's see what Westman can do. Now that he's got around Wolf, let's see if Westman is able to run these guys down. The interval is about, well, he just got it under a second. So we'll see if he can get him down with 18 to go.
Maybe he's been taking care of those tires a little bit more than we thought. If that's the case, he's got a shot here.
This series runs 100% fuel. We're not sure if that means they can go 48 laps. That would be how long the stint would be.
And I thought the window was like somewhere between 43 and 46 laps. So right now it's a head scratcher for me because I thought that was the window. I could be wrong. They could have enough fuel to make this, but it's going to be awful close. I don't think any of these cars are going to have very much fuel in them at the end. Again, I don't know if the tires are going to make it, Soup. There's still 16 laps to go, and they've just got to be blistering these things off right now. Maybe Westman was the only one who actually took care of him. He's starting to pull away from Wolf now.
Well, I talked about it before. That interval between Henderson and Westman was about a second. Well, now it's down to 0.6 of a second. Westman has put the fishing line out there, and he's beginning to turn the crank on the rod and reel as he started to reel them in.
He's got the tail end of that draft now, and he's got to be careful here. He's got to keep his momentum through the turn. Boy, getting a really nice run off the bottom there, Soup. Started it high and then brought it down, just ran it right down the hill. He's closed all the way up on Henderson now. Got it down to 0.2.
If they need to stop for fuel, they should have done it at the midway mark, and they could have had fresh tires maybe. That would have been the time to do it. I think you got to, like I said, play the cards you're dealt. And here comes Westman. Ooh, he has a bad boy. It looks like he almost got caught up in the wash of Henderson there, and the car drifted high on him. Let's see what that number 12 machine has in him. Sean, we've been saying that Allen's due for a win here one of these days. Tonight could be the night.
I said it a moment ago. He could have something up his sleeve. Like tires are everything at this track. I keep going back to the speeds they're running, Soup. It's a 1.5 mile track, and you're approaching speeds of 200 miles an hour every lap. What it does to the tires is it starts to blister them, literally, and I mean so much heat that they just want to blow apart. They're fighting that condition now on the track. Westman maybe saving a little bit here to make that final push. He's backed off just a bit, but here we go. Dawson Brock on the radio says he's good to go. Not sure exactly what that means, but Soup, he said he's good to go.
Okay. Dawson says he's pushing like crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to translate that into words we can actually put on the air here. Dawson is having a hard time. Here comes Westman. Westman talking about something too. Allen with a drive now. Boy, and he has to back off again. Sean, these drivers have to be careful. There's 11 to go, but really 5 laps is where you want to be in front, because that's where you can get caught up by that yellow flag.
I think Dawson's
having a monologue out there. Oh, Westman in the wall.
To the wall out of 4. Oh, that took so much momentum off of him there. Henderson able to just drive away up in front. I'm starting to think Charlotte's made some of these drivers just downright loopy.
I have never heard more conversations going on here in these latter stages. Coming up now to lap Trevor Bobrovsky, who's running in 6th. Derek Prater's got that 55 machine. It was hard for him to get it out there, but once he got it out in fresh air, woo, boy, that baby was fast. Is there enough fuel? Will the tires be drivable?
Impressive run for Prater. 11 spots up to first, and he fought that car early, Soup. We talked about it on screen. He was fighting the car, was not getting a good exit off the turns, and fought side by side for so long with Travis Henderson to get that spot finally. Done a good job holding on to it, but this race is not over with 8 laps to go. Got some traffic in front. There's Trevor Bobrovsky right in front of this pack. Amazing he actually got that car back on the track, Soup.
Right now, Prater's saying, keep it on the track, and I'd like you to keep it on the high side if you could. That said, Prater takes it right down, and Bobrovsky takes it right down on the low side in front of Prater. I'm going to make Prater do the pass lap car on the outside. I'm not so sure Prater really appreciated having to go high. Thanks from Derek, so he didn't mind it too much.
Apparently not.
I haven't seen Prater run that car that high all night. Bobrovsky
That's,
doesn't know that.
that's exactly what I was thinking. It was like, man, that's uncharted territory there for Prater. Hope it works out for him. It did. He got by, pulled it off. But, boy, talk about the distance, though, this is put between him and Travis Henderson. Boy, Henderson better get busy quick here. We got 6 laps to go. I don't know if he can do it.
Not a real battle for position out there right now. And now Henderson trying to negotiate his way around. Oh, he puts it in the wall. That's going to give Westman a great run. Let's see if Allen can capitalize. Allen charges it in on the high side. Henderson drifts up a little bit. Westman trying to make it. Henderson gets, my gosh, Henderson gets back on the throttle. Now doing the dipsy-do, a little bit of a hucklebuck from Allen Westman. He's trying to go on the low side, and he's got to drive too, Sean.
Yeah, Westman crossed him over. Got it down there on the bottom. Got to keep it down there. Be careful.
Oh, maybe a little bit of a push, and that sets Henderson up. I don't know if they actually made contact. Up into second is Allen Westman.
Finally, Westman gets himself up to second. But what has this done? It's given Derek Prater a tremendous lead. Almost 2 seconds to the good on the rest of the field.
Uh-oh, I'm looking at Brock. Brock just bounced it off the wall. He keeps the car going, though. Dawson will be a good interview. We'll let him get a soda before he comes on because he's got his hands full right now.
Oh, Westman with trouble in 2. He was just on the inside of Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky goes up and tags the wall. Westman was able to hang on to it.
And now they're back at it again. You know what I think the trouble is here with 3 to go? Oh, now Westman's around. Bobrovsky turned him. Oh, he saved it. Oh. That was Kurt Bushish.
Yeah.
My God, that car was. We're gonna stay here when there's a. I think we're okay. There's still 2 to go.
We're looking at it on the replay right now.
He has to get around Bobrovsky. I'll follow our leader here, make sure we don't miss the finish. Yeah, I believe I'm up to speed is when
Oh, guys, we got to go back live.
we might have missed.
Sorry.
Okay, here we go. Got Sean.
Well, Westman was still back here battling with Bobrovsky, and that's Wolf and Henderson just behind them now. Prater's got it, though. It looks like Prater's going to get it.
Derek Prater coming around turn 4. Your winner. The 5th round in the chase of the We Stand United Cup Series goes to Derek Prater, his first win this season. Second place, is he going to be able to bring it? It looks like Westman, and there's a crash on the front straight. Westman and Bobrovsky cartwheeling across. Wolf gets 3rd. I believe Henderson is going to get 4th.
Henderson had trouble coming off of 4th, actually. Coming off of 4, Henderson had trouble, and he goes to a ride through the grass.
There's Wolf in the 15 machine. Henderson behind him.
See Cordell Cologne at the left of your screen there starts spinning.
Henderson's in the grass. Henderson finishes across the grass, then they get together. Woo! Nobody's hurt. Dawson Brock, the last car on the lead lap, gets 5th as the fireworks begin to fly. All right, what we're going to do now, Sean and I are going to take a short little break here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but we'll be back to rundown the entire field of 15 drivers, do driver interviews, and close-up shot back in just a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's post-race coverage of the We Stand United. This is the round number 5 in the 10-round chase from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And tonight, our winner was, for the first time this season, he gets his name etched on some hardware, and that is Derek Prater. Right behind him, Alan Westman. Still so close to that first win as well, but not getting it. Josh Wolf's going to finish in third. Coming across the start-finish line on the grass sideways was Travis Henderson. Dawson Brock, last car on the lead lap, picks up another top 5, and that's going to help him stay in the chase. Varun Borowski going to finish first car 1 lap down in 6th. Nick Parrott going to fly in there in 7th position. Sean, what do you got after that?
Soup, I have got Cordell Cologne with an 8th place finish tonight. Brad Walsh going to come home 9th. Matthew Cisna, he had trouble early, problems with the hardware. 10th place for Cisna. Then we got Jason Merritt, 3rd place. Jason Merritt with 11th tonight. Alex Skinner, trouble early for him. That's going to be a 12th place finish. Garrison Hogan, also a tough night for him, trying to get started here, and it didn't work out too well. Only gets 30 laps in. He'll be the last car here tonight, 13th place.
And I've ran down our race leader. I'm going to assume it's Derek Prater. Derek, do I have the pronunciation on both names correct?
Yes, sir, you do.
All right, congratulations. My gosh, you were the star of the show tonight. There was no doubt about it. You were the only guy trying to make that low line work.
Yeah, I saw a lot of guys trying to make that middle work, and I just thought, low way is the way to get around there. It's quick. I don't know if they were trying to save tires or if it just was a quicker way around for them. I was just trying to use it up and go as fast as I could for as long as I could, and it worked out for me.
Well, man, we saw you try, and we saw you try, and we saw you try to get around Henderson. You couldn't get it done. Then finally you got it done, and then you took off.
Yeah, Travis was tough to get around tonight. I'd get to the inside, and he'd get around off the corner, and then eventually he bobbled off the corner, and that gave me the opportunity to get around him, and I just took advantage.
What was the fuel situation like? Sean and I didn't know. It was a 48-lap stint. Was that a problem with 100% fuel? Was that ever an issue?
No, I had plenty. I took a look at it about halfway through the run, and I thought, yeah, I'll be okay. So I just went at it.
So with that long stint at the end, there was never any thought of breaking it up into 2 shots. You felt that one doing it all in 1 shot was the way to go.
Well, my strategy all through the night was just go, go, go. Really wasn't much strategy to it. Just go as fast as I could and compensate from there on out. Earlier in the NASCAR race, I said speed can, heal a lot of things, and that's the strategy I used tonight.
Now, this is your first win this season. Is this your first season? Do you have any wins that we don't know about from previous seasons?
No, I've been here a few seasons, and I haven't yet got a win. This is my first one, which it's pretty special. I've been trying, and finally I got it done.
Well, we'll let you go, but we talked in the race that we thought you had chase speed. Is this a matter that you didn't race enough to get in there? So congratulations getting that win in tonight. It was an impressive victory.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Derek Prater, your winner today, and a deserving winner he is. Sean, who do you got?
I got Joshua Wolf. Big 3rd place finish for him tonight. Takes advantage there of Travis Henderson's late race bad luck. Josh, what was it like out there tonight?
It was a lot of fun. Seeing the line move around and that. I normally like to be a long run driver, and I just found something right at the end of practice and was pushing a little too hard. That's why I fell off. And then seeing that happen with Travis was definitely a boost for the championship run. So nice getting a point or so there for that race, or for that position.
Talk to us about the trouble everybody had getting out of turn 4 tonight. It seemed like a real problem spot for everybody.
Yeah, it was a little difficult. Car gets loose coming out there, and the wall comes up pretty quick. So a lot of people were having trouble there. I think I might have got the wall there. The other spot is actually getting into one. Kind of get light getting into the corner there. So there's issues on both ends, but definitely at the late run coming out of 4 was definitely a big issue.
You talked about the points, and certainly finishing 3rd is a good way to keep your hopes alive, isn't it?
Yep, definitely. Just having some solid runs and just staying up there in points and hopefully we'll be one of the 4 headed to Homestead to race for a championship.
Well, it all starts with having another good run next week at Kansas. You like your chances over there?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love running on the high side, so I'm looking forward to that with the line being up there. But I'm also kind of interested to see with how this track is normally a bottom groove track, and we were running all the way up against the wall. So kind of wondering if there might be a low groove next week. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, we certainly will. We'll be back with you at Talladega Speedway. That I'm sure will be exciting. We know that's anybody's race there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely anybody's race, and that's the one race I'm not looking forward to. I've had really good luck at the super speedways this year, so hopefully can keep it up front and out of trouble.
Well, we certainly wish you the best. Thanks for coming in for just a moment and chatting with us, Josh. We'll catch you soon, and good luck at Kansas next week.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that was Joshua Wolf, the Howlin' Wolf, Bill. We caught up, I think you caught up with Dawson Brock.
I do. 5th place finisher here today, Dawson Brock. Dawson, let's first of all jump to the end. What the heck were you doing? You had like a Shakespeare soliloquy going across the mic there at the end. Was the car going away from you?
Yeah. It was pushing bad. I don't know if you might not have caught it. I went right through the grass. I came a little bit loose off of 4, and I went through the grass, just bouncing up and down. Finally got back on the track and had absolutely no grip and hit the wall. And yeah, it was kind of a disappointment there near the end, but I guess top 5 isn't terrible.
Yeah, that's probably, I think you had a top 5 car today and you got yourself a top 5 finish, and that's the type of thing that's going to get you into the chase. Before we talk big picture chase points, let's go back to the beginning of the race. Man, earlier on, I was worried about you because cars seemed like the low side was not going to work for you. We were stuck on the high side and cars kept getting under you, and I kept thinking, man, it's just a matter of time between one of these cars gets loose and goes up into Dawson. He finally is backed out of it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, halfway through there, I was just kind of wanting to get it settled out, and let the long run take over. I'm like Josh, I'm a long run guy. I was running that high side hoping that maybe later on my car would come alive, but it never did. And I just didn't want to, race and burn up because I was running, I had to crank the steering wheel and it just felt like I was burning up them tires.
Interesting. Let's go to, because it's, first of all, let's stay on that point. Fixed setups, right? So we're all running the same setup.
Yeah, it's fixed. The steering ratio you can change. You can also change the steering offset, and then you can change brake bias. So I was running a 16-to-1, so I got to turn my wheel a little bit more. And I think Trevor and Josh were all on that. I'm not sure what Derek was on. I'm pretty sure he was on a 12-to-1. But I don't know. Yeah, it makes a difference. I know the higher the ratio, you save your tires a little bit. But yeah.
Well, let's look big picture here. You're in the top 4 finally. It took a long time for you to get there, but you got Parrott and Cologne behind you. The good news is you finished a few points ahead of them. But because the point system is so small, you pick up a few, but it really doesn't save you from the disaster. One bad race and you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I keep trying to, just making that lead a little bit bigger because I want that insurance that where, you go to Talladega and you get involved in the big one, something you really can't control. And you kind of want your insurance points for that. And you just got to keep on, top 5s, top 4s,
Yep.
Finish in front of them and just keep making that lead a little bit bigger every race.
Well, you're halfway through, so let's. We're not going to be there next week, but we will be back with you at Talladega, and who knows what's going to happen there. So hopefully you'll still be in the top 4 when we see you again here on GSRC, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yep, thank you.
Never say die, Dawson Brock, living up to his nickname today as he comes across with a hard-fought 5th place finish. Okay, that's going to wrap it up here for interviews, but we're not done yet. We need all of you to pay attention to the next part of the broadcast because these are the people that make this thing work. We'd like to thank everybody at the We Stand United Motorsports for organizing this series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. We know you have lots of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen now that we use on our broadcast.
And the original music you've heard on today's broadcast is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them. GSRC will be back to bring you the Aaron's 199 from Talladega Motor Speedway on October 23rd. We Stand United will be at Kansas next week. We wish all those guys the best. And listen, they're looking for drivers for next season. Get a hold of them at WSU Motorsports 2012 at gmail.com.
2012, good year. For details about all events on the Global Sim Racing Channel, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. Finally, on behalf of my mic mate Sean Ambrose, our director Joe Peak, and our camera artist Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, especially staying this far into the broadcast for these important messages. And with that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.